here's the Telegraph, and they were pushing this article out yesterday. The NATO maps out plan to block Russian invasion. Pre-planned logistical routes could help stave off a potential Russian attack. So we're preparing for war here. Here's the Mail. Revealed NATO plan to get US troops to the front line to fight Russia. Alliance prepares for rapid deployment of American soldiers amid fears Moscow is plotting major war with Europe. And the impression that you're left with these articles and others of its type is that this is all a NATO initiative and that this is something new. But if you've been watching the UK column for a lot of years, you'll know that there's nothing new about this at all. So let's just bring the map on screen and we can see the routes that they're talking about. And this is all about military mobility. And we've been talking about military mobility for many, many years here at the UK column, because this is part and parcel of the of the European Union Defence Union project. So here's Federica Mogherini going back to 2018 here. And she was already talking back then about the next steps on the military mobility action plan. So if you're in any doubt about the fact that they've been planning for exactly this scenario for many, many years, you can put those doubts aside. If we put that back on screen again for a second, this is something for 2019. The announcement that 22 member states of the EU, that's Austria, Belgium, Bulgaria, Croatia, Cyprus, Czech Republic, Estonia, France, Greece, Hungary, Italy, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Malta, the Netherlands, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Slovakia, Spain and Sweden, and the European Defence Agency signed a new programme that implements a major part of the action plan on military mobility, allowing free cross-border surface and air movement of personnel and equipment. And this was all part of the European Defence Union project. You've seen this, or at least many people have seen this graphic quite a number of times. This is from the European Commission themselves, although it's our version of it. And you can see on the right-hand pillar here, they consider a core partnership to be NATO and another core partnership to be the United Nations. But NATO has always been a part of this entire project. And then coming back to 2019, this was Violeta Bulc, the EU Transport Commissioner at the time. But let me now come back to my main topic, the action plan on military mobility. This was adopted at the end of March by the European Commission and the EU High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy. And she said it was developed in the context of our President's commitment during his State of the Union speech in September 2017 to have a full-fledged defence union in place by 2025. So this has to be seen in this context. The EU has been stalled on many occasions in their efforts to get this defence union in place. So, if you think of all the various sub-unions that they have in terms of banking union and monetary union and various other types of unions, this was just another one of those, and so on. So let's bring the current High Representative, the so-called Foreign Minister of the European Union, on screen. And of course, the Military Mobility Project was part of PESCO and led by the Netherlands, provides the right platform, he said, after the US, Canada and Norway joined last year. The UK's participation is yet another proof of the importance of this project. So the UK is part of this as well, as we always said it would be. So there we are. Now, if you want to know the history of this, you have a look at this page on the UK column website on EU military unification. There's a full timeline here which describes the process that has built this infrastructure over the last lot of years, and actually about 30 or 35 articles, I think, on this topic. So go and have a look at this because it is absolutely key to appreciate that everything that we're seeing happening today and all the plans that are in place today have been being built over many, many years. And Charles, the point I would make here very strongly is that we have been talking about this for years. And I believe we're the only media organisation in the UK that has been talking about the building of the European Defence Union and the implications that has for putting pressure on Russia. It certainly has never been discussed in the mainstream media at any level of detail. So that is a pretty unique topic in the UK for British media, at least.
It is. I hope that does two things, which is first of all to confirm to people who listen to and watch UK Column that they're doing the right thing by following us, because exactly as you say, this has received no coverage at all. I think also it serves as a good reminder that these sorts of things to coordinate to achieve that degree of sort of willingness to cooperate and the rest of it does take an awfully long time, but also it requires, on the information side of it, it requires a very cohesive narrative to keep effectively telling everybody that Russia is a threat, that Russia intends to do this, regardless of what Russia actually does or says. And I think that's the other main thing to draw out of this, is the ground that can be gained, perhaps not literally, but what can be done with just the suggestion of something happening or indeed not happening.
Yes.